properly? Kind of.
Yes, yes, yes. And Roxanna, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I just love your film.
Oh, thank you.
So much courage on so many levels, telling a personal story using not the normal means of making movies these days. I almost don't even know how to categorize it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Celluloid, is that?
Yeah, yep. That beautiful challenge.
Children and animals. I mean, you did it all. If you had like bombs dropping in the background,
That
but you
is
got the hat
exactly
trick. You
right.
already did the hat trick, so
Thank you so much. Thank you.
you're
Yeah.
welcome.
It's true. It was a period piece. It was.
Don't make me come get you. Come on. You're gonna love it. Give it to me. Come on. Come here, girl. You're gonna take this, all right? Take this in your hand, and you're gonna walk until you can't walk on. Just don't drop that string. All right?
Don't be scared.
Well, why would I do that if there's no mine? With leaves coming down and around. Fuck you! When you go, I don't want you to look back.
Why?
Simple. Because there's something on the other end, all right?
I want to welcome everybody today. We have very special guests with us from a phenomenal film. It's really moving and just so powerful. And I'm so pleased to welcome to our festival Roxanna Lewis, who is the director, writer, producer, and Jophielle Love, who is a wonderful actress who just is mesmerizing in this role. So thank you. Thank you, both of you, for being
Absolutely.
here
Thank you.
today. Thank you. And I like your name, Jophielle. Am I
Jophielle.
Jophielle? I love it. It's like angelic, and you just have
It
this.
is actually an archangel name.
Ah, beautiful. Oh, see. Oh, do you know what he or she is the archangel of?
The archangel of kind of like beauty and creativity. She's more towards the feminine side.
Wow. So you were clearly not given this name by accident. I thank you for that. That's beautiful. I love how this is coming out just spiritual and potent from the start. I wonder, how did the two of you meet to make this project happen?
Well, I am very lucky because Jophielle's mom is a very, very, very close friend of mine, as is her dad. And so I've had the privilege of getting to watch Jophielle grow from a little person who used to, her dad is a Jade Kindermartin. Her mom is Karine Malfree. She's a stunt woman and does many, many, many things. She's got a management company with children actors and all kinds of extraordinary things. They both still perform. And at one point, Jade was, well, not was, he is a high wire walker and a high wire walker. And so I remember when Jophielle, he was working with her, and she was like standing in the palm of his hand in my backyard.
Wow.
And everywhere, probably everywhere. So I've had, there's Jade. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So I have the opportunity to have known Jophielle for a good long while. And I have the pleasure of watching her and her two brothers grow up. And I get to work with Jophielle in this project. So I'm really grateful for that.
Wow.
And her
And
mom, Corinne, I'm sorry to interrupt you. And her mom,
um,
Corinne, came on as a producer also and worked with me in the background. So it's super cool. Yeah.
wonderful. Wow, I love it. Feels like family, like a family grown project.
Yeah.
How did you find that, Jophielle? Was it, did it make it? Because I see that you have a lot of credits. So was this project for you, maybe a little bit more special or a little bit easier, or how was it for you, working with your
Well,
mom, working with your mom's friend, your friend?
I mean, I've always known Roxanne for a very long time. And I mean, when she said, "Do you want to do this movie that I'm working on?" I was like, "Yes, I would love to," because it sounded really fun, and I was like, "Why not?" And it was just so fun to do the movie. I mean, I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was very fun, so that made it pretty easy.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. What a great answer. Um, and was Jophielle your first choice? So
Yeah.
you write
It
this
was.
movie and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, about a year before, I wrote a version of the script and I had applied to a very prestigious program, and I was very fortunate. I didn't make it into the program, but I was very fortunate to get a lot of feedback from them, and I thought they were going to say your ideas suck. Everything that. But what they said was, and it didn't really specifically have to do with this project. It had to do more with my background and who, quote unquote, as they would say, the competition was. And it was for emerging filmmakers. And they said, I need to let you know, you're competing against people who have $100,000 Apple commercials. So you need to bump up the cinematography and sort of visual storytelling. And I had literally submitted my very first short film for this project because it said it was for emerging filmmakers. And I thought, well, I'll just, and this is the script that I'd like to do. And in that program, I would have had to have raised a significant amount of money to be able to reapply and do it again. And I was on the phone with Corinne when I received this very friendly and warm rejection letter that also included a one-on-one meeting so I could get the feedback, which was very, very valuable. And I remember just saying to Corinne at that time, why don't I just make the movie? Like, why don't I just make the movie here with Jophielle and us? And so that's what we did about a year later. We were like, yeah, why are we waiting for permission? Let's just go do it. So
I love that. I
so
love
Jopielle
that.
was always like, and I knew I needed to do it. I mean, if I were to be completely selfish about it, I have a daughter also, and my little girl also looked like the role that I was looking to cast, and Jopielle and my daughter looked like they could be very close cousins. My daughter's not an actress. Jophielle's a professional actress, and it made sense for all the right reasons to invite Jophielle into that space. So I'm really happy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, I wonder, what was it like? Cause you know each other. So did it make giving and taking direction easier on set? Coming out with the emotions that you wanted to get, the dialogue between you two. Either one of you want to jump in on that aspect?
I mean, it was like always with every director I've worked with. I'm. It's been pretty easy to take direction. I mean, I'm still even learning about it, learning how to take it very well. But it was pretty easy.
And I really grew in this experience as a director in that there were a lot of decisions. Part of it is because I do really trust Jophielle and the work that she does, and I trusted my ability to communicate with her. I also felt a real need to kind of protect her as a child and also as an actress. And she was coming out of a really intense schedule at General Hospital filming. I think you were filming a full week, or it was like a 6 day. I don't know. I don't know the rules, but it was. I think it was like
Maybe it was it the wedding that was 3 days long?
well,
Yeah.
you were going in every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had 4 location shoots for which, I mean, they were full company moves in 4 different cities. And we had different housing every night, and we shot on 2 weekends, and and so Jophielle's schedule was really very demanding. And there was a part of me that, as that director and also as a family friend, but more so as a director, where I really wanted to protect her health and her well-being. And it was interesting for me to see, honestly, how that changed some of the things that I initially was going to, what I thought initially I wanted. And I felt that to be a really important and integral part of the process. And for me to really turn some of that over to Jophielle to make professional decisions, for her to make choices as an actress, and for me to be able to receive that and then work with it. Because I want to just go back, we were working on super 16 millimeter film, and so Jophielle's professionalism was exquisite in her ability to do things on 1-2 takes. And I think once I went a little crazy because I was probably desert dry, like delirious, and like, let's take 4 takes on that thing that makes you go. It was like the least important time to waste the footage, you know? So, yeah, that I think that, that was an interesting experience because Jophielle was really working under the pressure of, we have 1 take and we have to do a company move. And there were so just to backtrack a little, our film is a period piece. We shot in 4 locations that weren't like 2 blocks away. They were like 2 and 3 and 4 hours away from one another. We had full everybody company moves, different housing. We also had 2 vintage cars. We had a wonderful furry 4-legged friend named Merlin, who is our Sabrina. And then Merlin at one point came with, I think we had 4 goats on set at one point. It was amazing. We also had, there's something else I'm forgetting. And of course, the fact that you are a child performer. So it was very important to me to truly, even though it was a micro budget, it was very important to me to, follow all of the safety guidelines, to follow the healthy guidelines so that Jophielle, who I felt was in a very potentially kind of we were out in the desert. That's the other thing. We were shooting out in the desert.
Oh, so hot.
For part of that, not the whole shoot. But so it was my job to take care of our cast and our crew, and to do that efficiently and effectively in 1 take. And then I also made the decision based on the storyline, what was going to come out at the end. I knew that we were I was choosing to do this in a very roll the dice kind of way. I had never worked on film before. I'd never shot in California before. I'd never met the crew before. So there was a lot of newness, and a phenomenal experience to really trust my choices, trust the instincts, and also to appreciate the accidents that turned out into be some really beautiful moments that I'm actually glad happened.
What are some of those? That sounds very interesting. Then I just want to go back to the point of, I think filmmaking is such a contact sport and people don't really realize it really is. So I'd love to get both of your feedback as well on how you, stay hydrated, on what are some tricks for endurance. So yeah, but if you want to jump in there with what were those happy accidents.
Well, we had the extraordinary generosity of a gentleman who, this is the film of favors. There were so many people who came forth, and just, oh my gosh, if I could have, they gave me the gift. They gave this film the gift of their time and their expertise and their skill set, and did it for the love and the challenge of working on film together. I think that was a huge draw for those of us who were drawn to that. But we also had a gentleman who, he did not give me the car, but he practically gave me his truck to use. And there were little isms like, it's an antique truck. We didn't know that you had to push the button and it wasn't really broken, but we thought it was broken. Like there were major, we had two vehicles that went kaput. And one of them, yeah, go.
Actually, yeah, at the last scene when we were at my bus, it just powered off. It didn't turn back on.
So we're pushing it.
We're pushing
up one take to push it into scene, push it on. Yeah, so there are things like that that are fun because the audience would never know it. You know, meanwhile, there are like 9 people. I'm like, oh, stop! You know, we have this much before we're out of frame, and it was, I think, energizing. And so, and that there was that, and that also created scenes that just had to be basically completely revamped in terms of how where they were going to be delivered, how it was going to happen, what the meaning of the scene actually was. I almost don't want to give the moments away because people will be like, oh, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. No, it was an unintentional miracle.
Yes, yes. Divine providence, I believe, steps in when we need it. Yes,
That
yeah,
calm
no,
mind to see it. The calm mind
Actually,
to go,
I have a question for Roxy.
yeah.
So, how did you get Eric, like, as the actor? Do you know him, or did you find him?
Excellent. So, aside from yourself, our incredible cast, I mean, incredible cast, includes Eric Palmer, who plays Taz, who plays, I almost called you Rayla, who plays Jophielle's dad. We have Lydia Korotko, who is an extraordinary actress, writer, director of her own right, and she played Jophielle's mom. And then we have Johnny Walker, who played the cop, who is in real life, he was a police chief and
He was
has,
very funny.
oh my gosh, great human being. And then we had the exquisite Sally Struthers. So what an honor to work with all of them. And I was very fortunate. I worked with Beth Lapari, who is a casting director, and she was generous enough to share her time, her energy, her skills with me, and helped me to cast Taz. And that's how Eric came on board to be.
So you didn't know him at all before?
I didn't know him at all. No. I just kind of fell in love with his audition and went, oh yeah, he's willing to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, his eyes were amazing. Like, again, just mesmerizing performances. He really delivered because I really liked what you did, like with the dad. Like, he's not just like one note. He has some, complexities in there that, like it kind of feels like if he had more of a chance in life, he could have been a better father. Like I love that scene where they're discussing the drawing.
Yeah.
Do you want to maybe both of you speak about that a little bit? I really loved it. It was such like a push and pull between the two
pass that
characters.
to you, Jojo. I'm gonna pass that to you first, okay?
Okay.
When he was talking with you about, the man stands here, the woman stands here, and drawing on the pad.
Oh, yes, right. It was kind of funny because at first, when we were like practicing it, when he was practice drawing on, it was kind of confusing. I didn't know why the man's side was taller, and I don't know, it was just very confusing, but it was kind of cool. Kind of cool. I mean, it really felt like a fairy tale when he was doing that story.
And then this is also where you asked, like, that's not so. Like, that doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since we shot now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought you were. It was a great moment. Yeah.
And
yes,
and this is the moment where the character said that's not true on Sarah. She's taller than Uncle C, and he exploded at you basically.
Yeah, because he's like, no, a man is always, I don't know, more authorized, like has more authority over women, but that's not true.
Yes. Brava. You did it so well. Yeah, no, I thought it was such a great scene. And I wanted to ask too, I know I feel like I'm giving a lot away. I don't know. Should we discuss the rope
not too much. The one thing that I'll say about that scene, because this is so that happened to me and my father, only it was a very different, we were actually on a cliff of an ocean. And when he threw, and so all of that happened for me, in the realm of falling off of cliffs. I did not. But as a young child who would spin and spin and spin, and I grew up kind of in Big Sur for a part of my young childhood, that was something for me that was really interesting to see Jophielle live through, not as the character, and to really trust the actors together to work together, and I'm really proud of Jophielle because that was a lot for someone to, as an actor, to react to, and to this part of me is coming from such a real space, but she doesn't have that. She's just doing the lines and being in the moment as she is meant to do her job. For me personally, I was very conscientious about how far can I take this, and I think as a micro budget, I had rules that I needed to abide by. The original script was different. The original took things to sort of a more true story. This is sort of like a G-rated version of that. Wow. And so I think that Eric and Jophielle did a really beautiful job and created a very safe space to do that. And I think Eric wanted to really take care of you also and make sure that you were comfortable in the working process, because that's something that you and I have talked about quite a bit together. Yeah.
I was definitely comfortable with Sabrina. She was so cute.
Aww.
Yeah.
Again, it's just wonderful all around. Going back to what we were touching on before, how do you keep up on set? Both of you, in terms of endurance, because you described like how much of a physical effort it is. So I don't know, any tips for other actors, directors trying to get through long days, company moves and everything? Either one of you want to jump in?
Yeah, Jophielle, what do you think works for you? What do you like? What do you need?
Well, usually if you want to become a great actor, you need to know how to take direction very well. Not do the same take over and over if they want it different. And, I mean, obviously you need to know how to act. But, I mean, if sometimes you need a second, so it's fine to take a second.
Beautiful.
And are there things that you like to eat or drink on set that are specific? Are there things that give you energy or make you like, let's go? Or say like some monster. We're not doing monster drinks.
Usually on set where I go, they have a crafty, which is just like a stand with a bunch of drinks and snacks. Usually I go for the candy. But sometimes they have chips, sometimes they have granola bars or crackers. But, I mean, honestly, that's one of my favorite parts about being on set.
Understandable. And since we, I take mental health and physical health and spiritual health very, very seriously. And so right from the beginning, I did my best to ask people, what we're going to be in the desert. Do you have any specifics? Of course, all the basics, like just to know, is somebody vegan? Is somebody vegetarian? Is somebody pescatarian? Like all those things are very important. And I'm sure that all responsible filmmakers are doing that. And I think that what I'm talking about is pretty common. I just made sure that if someone was like, I really like mushrooms, or I really like cucumbers, or I really like kiwi, like I just made sure to have it on set. And let's make sure that when people are feeling, and tons of water, and we had the people on set that we needed to ensure that people remained hydrated and out of the sun and sunscreen and all of the things that we needed to do to stay safe.
Oh yeah, we had like 5 bottles of sunscreen and they were all used up by this day.
I imagine in the desert. Yeah. You touched on really something great. You need to know how to act. I want to go back to that. Have you, was it something you just took to right away? Did you ask your parents, I want to go to acting classes? How did that come up for you?
Actually, so I have my whole family is actors now, but when I was around 4 years old, my middle brother, Gabriel, he was around 6 at the time, maybe 8, and then I have another brother, my oldest brother, Raphael. Raphael. He
All
is now
angels. I love
19.
it.
So Raphael was around whatever age, somewhere in like around 12, maybe. He told my parents that he wanted to act. It was always a dream of his, and then my parents were just like, you know what? Why not put them all in acting? So we just got into acting. I've been acting since I was 3 years old now. 3 years old. And it's been amazing. I mean, I've been acting for most of my life, and I've gone to see all these new people, and I've made pretty much most of my friends on acting. I love doing new sets, doing new scenes, doing new emotions. It's just been so fun to see what other people do too. And the crafty.
What have been some of your favorite roles so far? Or some
General
really
Hospital.
special
General
moments?
Hospital was probably it's my home show. Sadly, I had to take a break for a while, or they put me on a break. And I mean, I really loved being on Will Trent, and We Have a Ghost. I worked with, I have forgotten his name right now, but in Stranger Things, he plays the role of Hopper.
Okay.
I worked with him, and he was so sweet. And then I've also played in a lot of other things like Love and Death. I'm forgetting a lot of them right now, but oh yeah, Grey's Anatomy. That was a really fun one. Have you watched Grey's Anatomy?
I haven't. I have an aversion to hospital shows. It's a thing. I'm just like, I can't watch sickness. Like,
Yeah.
it gets a little bit too much for me.
It was so fun though. I mean, Grey's Anatomy is right next to where General Hospital is being filmed.
Ah.
But yeah, I mean, I've been in a lot of roles, and I mean, I love trying out new stuff. I change hobbies every day.
That's
right.
awesome.
Yeah, she's going.
Nah.
I wanted
Oh
to-
yeah, I've also been in FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What was that like? Is
Very,
Wanna
very
touch on
fun. Most of the people I worked with, I'm not in touch with them right now, but they were so fun to work with. We had our little group. We were out in the woods doing some scenes.
Do you think one day, being surrounded by people like your parents who
Mhm.
also work behind the scenes and Roxanna, like, do you see yourself one day writing and directing too? Do you think that might be something fun you want to get into?
Well, so I'm going to these acting classes right now, and every once in a while we have this full production that goes on where everybody gets to be like either an actor, an editor, sound, uh, cameras, or a director, and we all switch around. And I mean, I really like directing, but I also really like editing and cameras and acting, of course. But I do see myself maybe directing.
Wow. I can
But
totally see
usually, I really want to do singing, which has always been a dream of mine
Oh,
forever.
wow, wow. Who are some of your favorite singers?
Well, my singing idol is definitely Ariana Grande because she's amazing at singing.
Wow.
Speaking of music, we have the incredible composers Dave Edgar and Phil Ficonti, Grammy nominated. They have each in their own right just, I don't know, they blow up the music scene in my mind. And we ended up creating a score that is based on one song, different styles and different genres. All of the sound cues were created live in a recording studio, in a real live studio with real live instruments in Tennessee. And so that was a really exciting process where I feel like what we did was most of the songs were based on the credit song, and we kind of found our way there organically. And then I love it. Dave said to me one day, "Hey Roxanna, do you write songs?" I'm like, "Are you kidding? No." And go home to go rest this evening and write a poem. And I did, but he said it was like 40 poems or 40 songs. This is like 40 songs. And we worked together, Dave, Phil, Bobby Starnes, and myself, and took what I'd written as a poem and created the credit song. And then that song, just to keep us on our toes and keeping the process fun, we basically decided to instead of doing all different songs for different scenes, we said, how do we take this one song and create it behind the scenes into the score? Does that make sense?
So it has that fabric
feel. Instead of creating 7 or 8, 9, 10 songs, we took one song. We said, how do we shift this around? How do we use this part of it instead of that part of it? And I don't really know any other film to date that's at least publicly announced that they've done that. And it was just a truly extraordinary honor to work with Dave and with Phil. And we had our other musicians. We had Patrick Duke, Graney, who's an extraordinary percussionist. He came all the way from Cleveland with a car full of percussion. And we had Mr. Rose, who plays banjo. And we have Keisha, our vocalist, who really came in one take. I think she did like 2 takes on the final song. We were just experimenting, Keisha Bryant, and she did this beautiful job singing a cappella for the credit song. And then we went from a cappella, taking those taking the words and then creating the songs and the styles and the genres out of that. So it was a really fun way to kind of work backwards, but very organically, watching the film in front of us. It was truly a beautiful experience.
It sounds, amazing. I still can't believe you said, like, you used the term micro budget, and nothing feels micro budget about it.
Film of favors. This is the film of favors, and I am just so grateful. I feel like, the universe and a whole bunch of beautiful energy came together to align us to experiment and play together. But it was the film of favors, and I got a responsibility with that. I have a responsibility to give back and give to the community, and hopefully give to audiences and give them something to think about and relate to.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, if you'd just like to share, both of you, what is next on the horizon, and then I think we're good.
Sure. Jojo, do you have things that you're working on, you're playing with, or that you're excited for what's coming next?
Well, I mean, I've been auditioning a lot. There's been way more auditions than last year, I would say. And I mean, for this next month, I'm going to be cleaning up the house a little bit, and then we're going to be going to France for a little bit for my mom's birthday and mine.
Beautiful. Happy blessed birthday to both of you.
Oh my gosh, I just have to say, we rapped. Did we rap on your mom's birthday, or was it your birthday? I remember that now.
It was, I think it was the day before my birthday, yeah.
That's right. Yay!
Wow.
So that means we had her birthday on set because she's 2 days before mine.
Yay! And next up for me is I'm working with Dave on an album. He's got an album that's Dave Egger, the composer for the film, asked if I would write, direct, and produce a music video on an album he has called Mother Load with Tasha Born, and I'm really excited. So I'm in pre-production for that right now, and I'm also writing a feature as we do, and I am thoughtfully and peacefully in waiting because I have been invited to direct a feature, and so hopefully that will come through. As you know, there are just so many steps that have to happen. I feel like we have to make our own work, so
Yes.
not gonna wait. Yeah.
Totally agree.
I just finished directing a wonderful play, and so like a lot of things just wrapped up. I have another film that is screening called Mandy's Voice.
Getting tongue-tied in sobs of anger that words never come. Viewed as incompetent by the freed voice ones. The detour is living in tortured silence.
Like to discuss the play or Mandy's Voice?
I mean, I think that would be really nice. Should I just jump in now on that?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so I have there's a lovely film called Mandy's Voice that I directed and produced, and it's written by Sharon Y. Cobb, and my film partner is named Josh Hansbrough, who was also the DP and the editor, and it's a really special piece. We started it before COVID. It's about a young woman. Technically, now she's a young woman, but we shot before COVID, and it's really about a young girl who's non-speaking, nonverbal on the spectrum, who learns to communicate for the very first time. And at the time, it was very controversial. It's based on a documentary that Josh did called Piece of Heart, and it's very loosely based on two of the people that were in that documentary. And this was at a time before COVID when nobody was really using tablets and nobody presumed competence, that people have thoughts and can functionally exchange the communication as long as somebody else knows how to receive the information. So the short of it is, the short film is this young lady, Mandy, learns how to communicate with her mother for the very first time, and gentle spoiler alert to tell her that she loves her. And this is very true. This is a true story. This happened with a young woman, and it was such a meaningful documentary. Josh said, I don't think anything like this has ever been done about folks on the spectrum who are also non-speaking. I don't think at that time there were no films specific that we knew of. So we did it together to bring awareness and to really ignite conversations in living rooms, and to really change the conversations in the boardrooms also. And so now here we are, 4 years later. It could even be 5 years later. Let me do my math. Yes, even 6 years later, or 7 years later, by the time at our starting point, and we go, wow, look how much, thank goodness, the world is growing and learning and changing in terms of what our expectations are about what communication looks like, sounds like, and feels like. So I'm very excited that this film is playing at the Gaithersburg Film Festival next week, and it's we're really honored. It's at the Arts Barn, and really excited that it's up and running, and kind of the cobwebs are brushed off a little bit. And Rachel Barcelona is the star of that, and her co-star is Karen Silas, who is an actress, and she had her own TV show at one time. Rachel Barcelona is an extraordinary performer, singer, actress, and international autism spokesperson, and she has her own foundation, and right now she's traveling to England to participate in a huge event in the UK about world acceptance, world awareness, and really happy for her. I loved working with her very much. So, and we also cast authentically throughout the entire production, and we were I don't know, I did it as a director because it felt like the right thing to do in every single way, where we already had a very broad cohort of team members with folks on the spectrum, neurodiverse, neurotypical, all kinds of backgrounds, and we also made sure that organically our producing team also incorporated people from all different backgrounds.
This is amazing. I love what you're doing because it seems like your projects are so family oriented at the heart, so emotionally connected at the heart. So I don't know. I just think it's so powerful and clearly so authentic. What do you think it is about you, or why do you feel drawn to these type of projects? I mean, they're emotionally heavy. There's no kid gloves involved, it seems, and relatively new to your sphere of creativity. So what do you think it is? What drives you in that direction, or either from your background or what you see in the world? Yeah, if you'd like to give a little bit of insight
I love that
into
question. I love it. I'm in love with people. I'm in love with life, and I'm in love with quality of life. And I deeply believe that at the root, this is about being able to listen to one another and to be with one another and to understand that communication looks and feels different for all of us, and that every living person on this earth is worthy of time and attention, and is valued. And I also understand that we need each other. Like, we need each other. We're not individuals up on Mars or up on the moon. We are human beings. We need each other to survive. We need our elders to teach us the way, and we need our youth to be the leaders someday. And I believe it's very important to put this messaging out into our hearts and our minds, so that we don't get caught up into thinking somebody else is going to do it for us. There's no one else coming to save us. We have to be here for one another. And I believe in humanity. This is my way of giving it.
That's so important. Yes, we need each other, in a business where, I'm sure, even Jophielle might have come across it. So, it can be so ego driven if we don't check it, right?
Yeah.
I did this, I did that, and it's never, there's no I in film. It's kind of
Well, there could be, but it could also be like, let's come up with the acronym of film,
Yeah.
Fun, independence, loving,
multicultural.
Multicultural, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's just, and going back, like, that's why I just what you were saying about your autism project. That's why I don't watch kind of like medical dramas, as we were touching on the Grey's Anatomy, because my father had Alzheimer's, and it was like early onset, and it drug out for years. Like, it was, like really, like a really long sickness that he went through. But he was able to communicate in ways. So I was just noticing the parallels. Yeah, because like he wasn't like fully verbal, but there would, music was hugely important. I always say anybody that has Alzheimer's, is caretaking for an Alzheimer's patient, or person, because I don't even think patient, like, what is that? That's, or like when doctors call people clients, or, something like, I just, it's like, no, it's people. But yeah, so I always think music is such a big help, kind of in like the tablets, like as you were saying with your film. And then just one time, like I clearly remember my father meeting somebody that I never met. One of my friends went to go visit him in the hospital, and we're standing there together, and he had never met her. And just out of nowhere, he said, "You're one of 12." Like some kind of mystical knowledge came over him. And it's in fact true. My friend was one of 12 siblings, which, like, how rare is that, And so like, yeah, so there's always, there's so much, I believe, underneath the surface that, we'll never be aware of.
Yeah.
But so no, that's great, with people that have, that are on the spectrum and are being held back from truly communicating or, God forbid, truly being valued,
It's my job to hear. It's my job to hear. It's somebody else's to figure out what they want to communicate. But I choose to take that on, and I can't imagine. I mean, that's what life is. And so part of what I want to do is, what I want to do is for us to connect. I think there's enough in the world through history that keeps us separate. But I think this is language, this is body language, this is like what you said, it's in the next dimension where we receive information and then we follow that information intuitively, or just if it comes from somewhere very special.
Right.
And I want to entertain audiences while also acknowledge that we're super similar.
Yeah.
It can look very different, but I think that, like you're talking about Alzheimer's, and that might be somebody else will relate to that also with their circumstance, their history of experiences, not necessarily that they experienced it, but that they care about someone or love someone, and that brings us together if we can have these conversations together.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. To bring it back to you a little bit more artistic before we leave off.
Sure.
So you also have finished directing a play.
Yeah.
So artistically, what's that like for you, the difference between directing a film and directing a play?
Oh my gosh. Well, I started as a dancer, became an actress, and then a choreographer, and then I directed for stage. And so I haven't directed for stage since before COVID. And this was such a love letter. It was literally about love letters, but also it was just such a beautiful experience to be able to be in the process every single day with the actors, just looking for those morsels. I mean, the skill sets are, of course, very similar to film or to television, and also it's different because the actor, when we get to work day after day after day, there's this consciousness of like opening up and just finding all these extraordinary layers that is thrilling to be around, and there's this real focus through it. In our experience, it was 6 weeks where we got to come in and leave the rest of the world behind, and then also create history, relive history, create history, recreate history, and to make the decision to create the give while also just maintaining health. How do you stay? You were talking to Jophielle, like, how do we stay in this space of mental, physical, spiritual health? And it just feels really good to do that as a practice for performance as well. So, everything is not Apocalypse Now where you're, having heart attacks on screen. Right. So, yeah, it's an honor. I love it. I love it. I'll anywhere I get to play, I'm going to show up and play. Yeah. And it's not all sweet and nice, it's getting in there. I like to dig in, and I like to laugh too. So
yeah. Wow. I wonder, just along your travels, I feel compelled to ask you this.
Yeah.
In your directing work, in your acting work, has something ever come up for either you or your actors that has just been really like, wow, I can't believe this was unearthed?
You mean like somebody going through process work and somebody?
Yeah, just something, because I feel your work is so, like we were saying, like so emotional from the heart and so real. So I just feel compelled to ask you that. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say I do my work to change lives, and I do my work to give what I can contribute to the best parts of what they get to experience. And so part of my job is to find the way for that person where they're willing to go into the challenge zone, and for them to ask themselves to go to places that they by default want to go, because I'm talking about professionals. I'm talking about people who have training, who are making decisions in a professional atmosphere. So my job, and I have to say, I work a lot with people who have never performed before, who've never acted before. I often cast authentically that way. But they've made the decision, and we've made we talk about things ahead of time, and we make the agreement. I share with them what's important to me and how I work, why I work that way, what some of my expectations are. And then I have a whole lot of questions, and I make sure that the entities that I'm working with, the people that I'm working with, that's the journey that they want to go down. And so we develop trust. And I understand that they're allowing me into this sacred space, even if we never talk about anything other than the script, which is absolutely fine and necessary sometimes. But in the end, it's also about my desire to make sure that whoever I have the pleasure of working with in the most important roles also feel safe enough to take challenges. And yes, it has come up where people have had lots of different kinds of circumstances. And, this is acting. And as many of us, it's not, it can be therapeutic, but it's not therapy. Mm-hmm. So people need to be healthy and working on themselves continually, especially actors who are so raw, so available. And, their cup needs to be filled in different ways, whether that's information specific to the production or if it's just in life. These are people who are like these magical givers who are willing to put themselves on the line so that other people can feel their feelings. And I understand that. And I feel that's why I love directing so much, is because I feel compelled to protect and grow that. I think it's a very sacred space, no matter what kind of film it is or show it is. It's my job to get it to where it needs to be.
I love it, because I think, you're breaking like some of the superficialness away. Like, I don't think people really understand when you're signing up to do a film, you're really signing up to really expose who a character is through your life experiences, through,
or your imagination, right? Or to live truthfully in an imaginary circumstances. But that still takes a lot of courage. Yes. And we all, no matter who we are, we all have a history, and sometimes it's easier to bury that than it is to look at it or live with it. And certainly it's a challenge to sometimes use it. And I'm not saying everybody should, or that that's a prerequisite in the work. But that's the golden space for me that I honor and love. And, I think it makes really entertaining work. What I've noticed is that the further down the road we go with that, in that safe space, the more chances people can take and the more the audience can relate. So it's a big responsibility. It's not just pointing a camera. It's not just putting up a mic. It's not just doing technical work. And I think that is an asset that I embody, that it isn't just my ego. How great can I make this look? It's how healthy is this in order for us to go to where we need to go to make this have highs and lows and be memorable.
Yes. Well said. Okay, I think we're good. I thank you so much again.
It is so gorgeous speaking with you. Thank you so much. And Her Vision International Film Festival. I'm really excited for this. And thank you for everything you're doing for our community. And when I say community, I mean the greater community that grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows.
God bless you. Yes, we all, like you said, we all need to take care of each other.
Yeah. All right. Well, Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
body, wonder bars and dungaree. Clumsy fingers chase the tadpoles in the bloody pond. Soulmate, wander the nipping shore. Season, quick in their pace. Touch upon the shoulder.